Hi, I'm odeean. Today I'm going to be reviewing Toyworld's TW-D03 Grimshell, aka third-party classics style Grimlock. Just be aware that this box, it really is huge, so a large component of whatever shipping you pay is going to be towards getting this box to you. But, you know, having said that, look at the artwork. This is some of my favorite artwork. It's so beautiful. I just love the way they've done that. A lot of the details are the same as the toy, but they've taken liberties to kind of liven it up a bit with the way the hips are done in here. I really love that art, and I'm glad I've got the box. As with all the other Toyworld Dinobots, we get this awesome case. Very big, splits in half. Now I've already taken Grimshell out. You can see where he was sitting in Dino mode in there. But look at this other huge stuff, because don't forget, this is a combiner. Grimshell is the body of a huge Dinobot combiner. So we're getting feet and stuff. I'll pull these out later on and give you a better look, but it all comes nicely displayed like this and very safe and secure. At first glance, when I got Grimshell out of the box, something about him seemed a little bit off. Heaps of the design I really enjoy. Like, I like the bulkiness, I like just the shape of the body, I like the width of the legs here. I really like this chrome on the forearms, nice and articulated, opposing chromed fingers there that do feel a little bit delicate, but they look pretty cool. I think the main thing that was off for me is the head. Now, the head in and of itself, when you look at it, it is a pretty cool head. On another dinosaur, it would have been extremely cool, but there's something about it that just doesn't seem like Grimlock to me. And I can say the same with the other Toyworld Dinobots that they've done so far. But as a team, I'm fully in on it, and I think it looks good. But just it's not 100% Grimlock. I wish it was a little bit better. A big portion of what is wrong with it, I feel, is this thin bit here under the neck. Now, I mean, I guess you can put it like that, and if he stands upright, the angle looks like he's looking down. It's kind of right, but I always feel like I want to have the head tilted a bit in that direction, and when you do that, you get that very narrow gap, which is a bit weak looking. And I think if there's anything wrong with the toy, that's what it boils down to. It's just this gap under here is a bit unsightly. Zooming right in on the face like this, you can see he's got pretty good light piping, although with this light at this angle, doesn't show. I guess you'd want to do it like that. You get the light definitely popping out of the eye when you got it in the right location. I like how they've picked out some of the details with this very nice red paint at the side, and I do like in particular how he's got his chromed mouth flamethrower. That's awesome. Dinobots should have some kind of mouth gun, I think. I like the teeth. Now when I look at the teeth, it seems like they're painted. I think they've just touched up the details around the edges with a silver paint so that it pops out a little bit from the grey, and that's awesome. That's a really nice touch. On the top of his nose here, there's a nice panel which is exactly right for an Autobot symbol if you feel like putting one there. I do have one, but I just haven't been bothered to do it yet. If you want your Grimshell in a kind of running forward pose, he can definitely balance on two legs. It's a little bit back heavy, but if you hit just the right spot like that, it kind of locks in. But if you can't manage it, you can always just put a little bit of tilt into the legs, and it does stabilize it even more. Now he's got, unlike the other Toyworld Dinobots, lots of ports. You can see here on the lower leg, on the hip, on the side of the head, although I don't know that that's really intentional. Even here on the backpack, up here on the tops of the hips, he has loads and loads of places that you can peg something in as a weapon. I don't know why they didn't do that the whole way through this series, because that's one of the main things Toyworld have always been good at, but at least here with Grimshell, they do pull it off really well. And just to demonstrate that using his own weapon, it can just peg right on in there. And although it does hold a little bit weird, if you've got other guns, anything you like can go there, because it's a standard 5mm. Same with these ones at the side. Really nice tolerance. It is the perfect tightness, and I think that's just, it's done really well. I'm happy with that. Now I noticed while looking at this, he's got another little flap here. Let's pull that up and see what that is. I haven't combined these guys yet, but I'm guessing that that is something to do with combination, and that's a pretty good way, pretty cool way to cover up combiner port. It feels like it's almost see-through actually, just like the clear bits that we got on the original toy. And you can see, which I'm going to get to later down here, there's some more clear bits, and they really call back to the G1 toy. I'm happy with that. Looking at the back section here, there is a difference between Grimshell and the other guys. So he doesn't have a split running down the back where you can put this sword, which, yeah, just double checking, he really doesn't have it, which is good. I never liked that. I'm not happy with that on the other figures. He does have, however, a cool peg on the side of the sword, so if you do want to store it, you can just peg it on anywhere you like and it will sit nice and flush. Inevitably, everyone who gets this is going to want to compare it with Masterpiece Grimlock, just because he's kind of the bar that's been set. Masterpiece Grimlock is a fantastic cartoon-looking Grimlock. Grimshell is not that much smaller than Masterpiece Grimlock, but he has a totally different look, and it is much more toy-oriented with modern toys. I like both. I think they serve a totally different purpose. I mean, if I had to live without one or the other, I would go with Masterpiece Grimlock, just because he's kind of a ultimate version of the character who, you know, represents exactly how he was from my childhood. But if I had to pick which one to play with, if I was going to play, I think I would play with the Toyworld version, because he just seems like a little bit more fun. I don't know, just the mechanical, futuristic robot details seem a bit more modern to me. And in that vein of more modern toys, I've got a size comparison with DX9's Invisible. Now, I wouldn't use this. I wouldn't put these out together. I just wanted to show it with something that is a comparison with a Masterpiece scale toy, because this is kind of in the same realm as Sideswipe or someone like that. I think I would stick with my Classics Mirage to go with Grimlock here. But if you do use him with Masterpiece, that's how it's going to come up. Let's get to the transformation. So there's some pretty cool transformation steps in this toy, and it seems like it would be intuitive, but for me to get it back into dinosaur mode the first time was a little bit tricky. Anyway, so what we're going to do is just going to try and split this. Split, come on, damn it. Split this chest like that, and we can tilt the head up. Now, the whole thing's on a little bit of a swing bar here, so we want to swing it up like that before we open it out. Otherwise, it's going to have a little bit of conflict. You can do that as well to position it how you like later on. Now, these arms, doesn't really matter. You can just sort of tilt them down like that. The head can go right back into that position. Grimlock's head is in this little cavity here, so by pushing on the top, we can flip it around, bringing up his robot head. Check out that light piping, pretty awesome. I'm going to detach this panel at the front like that and just start swinging it up. Fold up these little flaps here, which were locking it in. You can see this kind of stud or pegs here that had locked them down. Now they fold up into this position like that. You can position these legs however you like, just to get them out of the way. Let's move that down. Now, this is the cool part here. This whole thing swings up. That's actually pretty awesome. So you get it to swing all the way up to the top like that. Bring the chest down over it, and then these tab in. So let's have a look at that from the side. It pegs in so that the silver part, the gold chrome part and the grey plastic are now connected together, which is pretty awesome. This back, let's just fold that back up like that, and then put it back down, and that kind of tabs in. Now I haven't got it straight enough. Why isn't that tabbing in? There we go. If it's all straight, it becomes pretty secure. Give it a good squeeze. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Split the legs. Now this is the awesome part. I haven't seen this done anywhere before. So I'm going to move this leg out to the side like this. And instead of it flipping around, it's going to rotate and then back in. Let's do that on the other side. Let's get this out of the way. Listen to those ratchets. That's for the combiner mode knee. Rotate it around. Peg it in. Awesome. Now these have a little slot that they're going to go into. Where's that thing? Like that. You can see here, there's the slot. That just keeps it nice and centered. The toes fold out like this. So it's basically on a swing arm that just lets you change direction, giving you what looks like ankle tilts, but it's really just the toe. That's like 99% done. The last thing to take care of are the forearms in robot mode. So we're going to put these panels up like this. That allows us to flip out our hand. Now the really cool thing about this Grimlock is that his claws can totally go inside, so you don't have to look at them in robot mode, which is not something that I think I've seen before. So then we've got Grimlock's arm with no dino toes sticking out. The Masterpiece, pretty much every other version has those claws still sticking out. If you want, you can easily leave them still sticking out. If you think that's how Grimlock should be, you just sit it like that, but I personally don't like it that way. The hand on this figure is articulated at the knuckle there in one big piece, but the actual part that does the holding is this C-shaped cup there between the thumb and the palm. So that's a pretty good compromise how to do it, and his weapon can just peg right in like that, and he holds it very, very securely, and it's pretty much perfect. I like this. This is better than what we got with the, what is it, Fans Toys, the slot, where they went with the Masterpiece style slot, because that slot thing, it just never works, especially when your tolerances are a little bit out. But the C-cup way like that, it's, look at that. You can't ask for more than that. Perfect. He can also perfectly hold his gun, no clearance issues. The gun doesn't bang into his arm. It's made pretty big. I like the size of this compared to Grimlock. The other guns with this series have been a bit small. I feel like this gun is probably just about right. Painted on the side of the gun. Now let's have a look. Is there anywhere on his back where I can stick this as a kind of way to hold it? Now at first glance it would seem not on the outside, but what they've done is giving us an awesome peg hole on the inside of that wing. So there we go. Grimlock can even hold the sword on the back. Man, I love this toy. I don't know how much I can say that. I freaking love this toy. That's so awesome. Here it is again with Mirage DX9's Invisible. It's almost usable. I mean, he's so big, it almost fits with Masterpiece. It's just that Dinobots are meant to be even more massive than that. But if you can, you know, if you can just turn a little bit of a blind eye to their true scale, he fits both worlds, Classics and Masterpiece, pretty damn good. And here's the perfect Classics figure to show him with, Cup. So I think this Cup's got the eye gear head, if I can just focus on it. Yeah, that's the one. Chomping on his cyber cigar. But I feel like that's a good size to go with Grimlock. I should have shown him when he was in Dinobot mode. And here's Grimlock with his creator, if you go by cartoon storyline. Wheeljack, so Classics Wheeljack. A little bit of a stumpy figure. I know there's things you can do to make him taller. I do have Masterpiece Wheeljack, but I don't know where it is right now. Now inside the box, I got this little baggie of parts, which is this. I'm thinking this is something to do with the combined mode head, although I'm not going to combine this guy yet until I've got the final guy, Swoop. Haven't bought Swoop. I should buy that. I might actually buy that after this video. But yeah, some kind of horns, maybe for an alternate look for the face. The face is just hanging out down here inside the backpack. I'm not really sure how to get it out. What can I do here? There we go. Wow, that's a mean looking face. Shit, look at that. Arrgh! Smash! It's pretty cool. The other parts we get in that box are this freaking amazing hand. I mean, it's got a pretty stiff joint there on the knuckle, which is really hard to move, but then a really loose joint on this part of the main joint of the thumb, which is hard to understand. I mean, why so loose there and so tight there? It's a bit of a tolerance issue, but you know, probably not going to be holding his actual weapon with the thumb, so it won't really matter that much. These individual claws, it seems to be where the chrome meets the plastic, that's where it's so tight, but this is one of the most gnarly looking, like this is deadly. Look at that hand, my god. Even with this stabbing weapon on the back of the knuckles, this is an amazing hand. I mean, at first glance, it looks so sharp, it doesn't even look like a robot hand, but I can now see what an awesome claw that is. And it makes me wish that my Mastermind Creations Predaking claw had been a little bit more badass, just like this. Next we get this huge foot. Oh, what a claw. Put this back a bit. Look at this foot. So we've got articulation in the toe, so he can make a kind of walking stance, I'm guessing. I mean, it looks layered with all these plates here. That's done really well. It's got an ankle tilt, but it's only in one direction. So this is probably his right foot, so that he can get a little bit of a wide stance happening here. And the other foot obviously just mirrors that. It does have a rotation here as well, and lots of these mounting points to plug in. Who is it? Muddy and Raw. They're the legs. Even I like this at the back. It's like a rocket-powered foot. I guess you could use this as some kind of weapon to shoot off, maybe, or maybe he can just fly using his feet. What power! And finally, we get these things, which I don't know what they are. I guess I'm going to find out when I combine him. My final thoughts. This is a really good toy. Standalone, 100% like this. I mean, because he's part of the combiner, you do get benefit of really strong, oh, that's even too strong, really strong joints. So, I mean, that's not to the detriment of the toy. It's actually good, helps you hit some awesome poses if you want it. He is a highly posable figure. Now, even though we've got double joints, like here, they only achieve like 90-degree angles, but that's just because of the sheer bulk. And that bulk looks fantastic. I mean, this is really a good version of Grimlock. I hope it's coming through. I'm super happy with this. This is probably my favourite Toyworld toy to date, and I've got most of the stuff that they've put out, just not the last couple of Throttlebots. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think about $140 plus shipping in US dollars. Australian dollars been moving around a bit, so I don't know what that really is in Australian dollars. Probably $200 I ended up paying for it, which is, you know, it's expensive. So it's not easy to buy, but it's so much fun. I definitely think that it was worth it. That's it. That's my video review for Toyworld's Grimshell, aka third-party classics kind of style Grimlock. I'm Odeean. Thank you very much for watching.